Good evening, everyone. My name is Hainisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And we believe that we are the solution to the issues in our community. Our theme is Nothing With Us Without Us. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is sponsored by Fathers Who Care, which is a nonprofit organization located on the west side of Chicago within the West Garfield Park community. Again, everyone, my name is Hainisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is comprised of 15 young people from our community whose focus and concern is youth leadership and a voice within the community to reduce senseless violence and illegal substance abuse. We invite people from all over, especially young people, to come in and see what we are all about. Our show will be scheduled every Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. We would like to encourage calls from people watching to leave their questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. Our show can also be viewed online at www.cantv.org/live. Again, that is www.cantv.org/live. Well, everyone, I would like to introduce Miss Beauty, who is a part of the Habilitative Systems Inc. And she was going to introduce herself and tell us about everything that she has going on and get more in depth of the conversation that we're going to have today.
Well, good evening. Like Hainisha said, my name is Beauty Winfrey, and I'm with Habilitative Systems Inc. We are a mental health service company, and we are located in the Austin area, located at 415 South on Kilpatrick. We deal with mental health, substance abuse, and reentry. And normally when I tell people that, they're like, what is reentry? I said, those are the people that are coming home from jail. You know that one person you don't want sitting on your couch when they come home? Send them on over to me. I got a place for them to go. We have 2 recovery homes, and we have some senior homes, shall I say. So we own 2 senior homes over in the Austin area as well. So we have a large umbrella at Habilitative Systems, and we have a developmentally delayed workshop at our facility. So we house people there, and they come in and they have a production shop. So.
Well, thank you again for being a guest on the show. And again, everyone, my name is Hainisha Malone, and I am the Vice President of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And you are watching a live interactive call-in television program brought to you on CanTV 21. During the next 25 minutes, we are going to discuss how to reduce underage drinking and substance abuse among young people. We invite our viewers watching to call in with your questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. Our phone lines are now open. So today's topic again is on how to reduce underage drinking and substance abuse among young people. So now I have a few questions. The first one is, when did you know you wanted to work in the field of violence prevention or social services?
Well, Hainisha, I actually didn't. That was the furthest thing from my mind. I started out as a mother, and all I wanted to do was stay at home and take care of my kids. And my youngest graduated from high school, and I looked at myself and I said, wow, I have no more kids in my house, so now what? There's no more PTA meetings. There's no more bake sales I have to do. No more parent-teacher conferences.
Right.
What am I to do now? Oh, my God, I'm lost. You know, because I've always had to just take care of my children.
Exactly.
So I was defined by my children. I didn't know who I was. So I had to think what to do. So I went back to school. 45 years old, went back to school. Decided I'm going to be a CNA.
What is that exactly? If like people don't know what a CNA is?
A certified nursing assistant. I decided to be a nurse, y'all, at the age of 45. I went to Triton, took the entrance exam, and went into nursing school. While I was there, my instructor looked at me and said, "Now, Miss Beauty, you know you over 45. And the last thing you want to do is be a CNA. Because that's a young woman's job. You're going to have to flip people, wipe them down, turn them over, help
with
them
the
up.
older people for like getting them.
Right. Assist them in and out of the bed.
Right.
And you almost that person that got to be assisted. I say, what you say? So she said, you know, if you stay in school just 3 more years, you can become an RN. And instead of getting paid $17 an hour, you can get paid $45 an hour. I said, oh my God.
That's a lot of money.
You see what I'm saying, honey? Yes. So I said, So I stayed in school and started working on my RN. And I'm
RN
still a registered nurse.
Okay.
So I am still currently in school.
Today?
Today. I am in school full time and I'm still working. And I started thinking when the pandemic hit, it took out all of the lab works. So I could no longer do my labs that I needed to become a nurse. So, you know, in the Bible it says delayed, not denied. You just postponed. I'm going back for my RN.
You gonna go back again?
Oh yes, I'm gonna get it. I'm getting that. I'm chasing that. Did you not hear $45? Yes, okay. All right. So yes, 45. So yeah, so I'm going back for that. But until then, when everything calms down from the pandemic, until we can figure out how to get that safely done for Miss Beauty, because Miss Beauty ain't no fool either. It's about safety. I was sitting there thinking, and I started working in Habilitative Systems, and I saw a need for social workers. And that's what made me decide to do the social work instead of being a nurse. And I was talking with some of my colleagues, and they was like, well, you know, they go hand in hand, because nurses need to make sure that the social workers have the right medication for their patients.
Right.
They're not being over-medicated, that they're not being under-medicated, and that they have the right medicine that they're prescribed. And
You know how like the medicine and stuff work too?
yes.
Oh, so like, don't you know how like they'll say, oh, if a person act too much of a certain way, they need this and this drugs, and like the drugs will calm them down for a certain period of time. But like, how is that really helping a child if all they're doing is being drugged to like stop acting that way for a certain period of time? It's not like helping them long term. It's only helping them for the time being. So like, what do they do to engage them and stuff so that they could like calm down like mentally as well, instead of just like from drugs and stuff?
Well, that's where we like to say therapy is a good thing. And I am a very big advocate for therapy. I am. Because most people believe that therapy means you're crazy. It doesn't. It just means you need someone to talk to. And sometimes if you talk to your best friend got another best friend, and then that best friend got a best friend. And what you told them then went to 17 different people. And sometimes that ain't what you want.
Right.
You want what you said to stay right there. And so what you say in them 4 walls with that therapist stays right there in that 4 walls. And so I'm a very firm believer that therapy is good. And so you need a therapist. Sometimes when you go to therapy, there's all different kinds. You have your art therapist, you have your verbal therapist, it's all different kinds. So it's not, you're not limited. It's not just in 4 little squares.
Right.
So you can communicate in any kind of way.
And talk about whatever you want. Because kids now, you know, they heart be real heavy on, like, a lot of situations that happen. They go through a lot. Like, kids have kids that they grew up with, you know, dying all the time. And they, like, go through stuff at home and stuff like that. So it's like they feel, like, trapped. Like, they feel like it's nothing for them to do but, you know, turn to drugs to, like, let the pain go away for, like, how I said, like, a certain period of time. But once that feeling is over, they got to keep doing it to keep feeling like that, and that mess with the brain. So then it's like they really messing themselves up for the future to, like, not let their brain fully develop. So I feel like therapy is really needed because they need somebody to talk to about stuff like that, because, like, they just feel like they bad themselves and they can't talk to nobody, or if they talk to somebody they feel like they weak and they can't handle themselves. But it's not really like that. Like, they just need somebody to, like, pour their heart out to, because it's, like, too much that they go through and stuff like that.
So, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was once me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I was teased so much because my mother was white and my father is black. And so we lived in an all-black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids picked on me because I had the real long, pretty hair.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't store-bought, y'all. It was my real hair. It ain't this mess I got up here now. So, you know, they sat up there and they picked on me. And they called me all kinds of names. And I had to be a zebra, you know, because the zebras was black and white. Or I was a penguin because I was black and white. And, you know, it was just all types of names. And so I turned to the drugs to deal with that type of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed on them for so many years. It wasn't until I got to be 35 where the therapy helped me. And that's why I can tell you that therapy works.
Right.
It does. It helped me deal with my childhood situations. It helped me cope with dealing with my mother. It helped me deal with all of the different situations that was going on in my home life.
Okay.
And it helped me become a better mother. It helped me become a better me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I take so much energy and passion when I go out there.
I don't know. They're not saying nothing. How does the long-term use of alcohol or drugs affect the brain?
Well, you can lose your memory. It will have you, when you go to try to learn things, it will make you have difficulty learning. It throws off your natural chemicals in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So where your natural pH is one way, it would throw that whole pH balance off.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it ain't good. Because it takes forever to get it back to go up. Yeah.
Right.
You'll have to pump yourself up with all this in order to get back to,
Flush your system out and...
It ain't worth it. You lose your cognitive impairment.
And what is that exactly, like, for people who don't know?
Ooh. That's going to take too long to break it down.
Okay, it's fine. Cognitive
impairment. Yeah.
Impairment.
Yeah. That's like your motor skills. To make it a little. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Your motor skills.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the worst thing is your brain cells just die. At the end of the day.
And like your brain cells, you know, it's like certain stuff telling it to function, what to do, and like when certain cells die, they're not there to tell those things to function, and cells don't just grow back. Like, you're born with those cells, so once they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone.
So it's like you really can't.
So just think of it like this. Once you leave this earthly body, we can't bring you back. So that's how you have to think about your brain cells. Once they die, ain't no jump starting it back. They gone. So that's
And do you know like when cells die, like where do they go? Like do they decompose itself? Like you know how how where do it go? Or it's just like dead cells just there?
they just dead cells. They just linger in your body. They don't go nowhere. They just sit there taking up space.
Wouldn't that have an effect too? The fact that it's like dead cells inside of you, like that's horrible. Sound like. Okay, so should parents talk to kids about drugs and alcohol, and how blunt should they be about it?
Well, I feel that parents should talk to their kids about it. It should always be an open communication about drugs, the effects of drugs, and how it is used. My children, we've always had an open communication because my two older kids, they was raised in the house with me using, so they've seen firsthand how drugs affected and how it affected me and how it affected them. My youngest child, he was not raised around me using, but he was raised around his father who is still using. And so I finally had to leave my son's father after 27 years and, to keep my son safe from his drug use and his drug habits because it was getting out of hand and it was becoming an unhealthy relationship, And so that's the other thing about drugs. When you start at a very young age, it gets very progressive and you start doing more things that you wouldn't normally do. And it takes you to, it makes you do things that you wouldn't want to do because you're not who you used to be. So you turn into someone you don't want to be.
It's not like a way to so like if you in that manner oh I have to do this or it's do they know in their heart oh this is wrong, or is it when they in that state of mind at the moment it's I have to do this is the right thing to do, or I'm not doing it for the long run, I'm just doing it to have fun, some people they just take what they do.
That's how it always starts, because that's how it starts. I'm just doing it on the weekend. I'm only doing it this one time. Oh, I ain't gonna do this every other weekend. Just this once. Next thing I know, it was every other day. Then it was 3 times a day. Next thing I know, if I didn't have it, I was sitting there crying. And then it was so bad that my bones was brittle. I couldn't function. I couldn't even get up to go and walk to the bathroom without using. This conversation we're having, baby, no, it wouldn't have happened.
So was there any effects that happened? You started shaking, you got real anxious, you got real stressed, you felt like nothing was possible without it?
When I was on heroin, I would have fevers, chills. I was messing on myself and puking on myself at the same time if I did not have it. So the side effects from not having the drugs it's not even worth it. When I was smoking the cocaine, I went from being 165 pounds to being down to 85 pounds. My daughter was giving me her hand-me-downs. So I literally went from being a whole person to being a shell of a person. And what woke me up was I went to my in-laws' house. And I visit them all the time. But this particular day, she came to the door with a hammer. And I was like, why? She's like, because you on that mess, I don't know what you want. And it like offended me because we're family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised, regardless of what, you never touch family. I don't care how much that mess was out there on that street, this is still family. And I protect my family. That was my honor. I don't know about them other people, but that was just me.
Right.
That's not true for all drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
Some drug addicts, they hurt the ones in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, I was hurting my family because of what I was doing. You know, and I didn't realize how much I was hurting them until maybe about 7 years ago. Me and my daughter was sitting down having a conversation like this. And my daughter told me, she was like, but you was never there for me. And I was like, but I was at every baseball game. I was at every track meet. I was at every parent-teacher meeting. She said, yeah, but you was always drunk and high.
So she felt like it wasn't really you. It was the other person, yeah.
She said, I didn't have this person.
Mm.
She said, I was robbed of my mother. She said, can I rewind the clock? I want this beauty. Where was this beauty? I was like, she wasn't born yet.
Mm-hmm. Had to find yourself.
I had to find myself. And it took a whole lot of soul searching. It took a whole lot of praying. It took a whole lot of me trying to find me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got, the one thing I can tell you is it took me to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I finally found me.
How long have you been mentoring and empowering young people, and what have you learned from them?
Okay, so I've been mentoring and empowering people since I was on drugs because I never wanted young kids to turn out like me. I told them, y'all see what I do? Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you all to be better than me. I always tell my little girls, you all are princesses. You all will be queens one day. So always hold your head up.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my young men, you all are princes right now. You will be kings because you all will rule this land. So don't ever hold your head down no matter what it is. If you trip and fall, don't worry. You can get back up. If you skin your knee, just put a Band-Aid on it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody makes mistakes. Even I made mistakes. I had to. I was on drugs for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
But look at me now. Your past builds your future. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do because only you can tear down your own self. I let other people's words influence me so much that I turned to drugs and alcohol. And now, I dictate my own present.
Oh.
I tell myself what I can and cannot do. So, when I have the youth around me, I tell them every day that I give myself pep talks.
Mm-hmm.
And I do every morning after I say my prayers. I give myself a little pep talk and I tell myself that I am worthy. I am great. I believe in myself today. I'm beautiful and I will shine. I can't stand y'all. I am loved, I am strong, and I am enough. And I'm that today. Do you all believe it? Because if so, that's all it takes. You have to believe in yourself. It don't matter what nobody else believes.
Yep. So now we're gonna get into these. Miss Beauty has a workshop that's coming up October 27th from 5:30.
22nd.
What did I say?
27.
Oh, sorry. October 22nd from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and I'll let her elaborate more on it.
Okay, so this is our Finding the Beauty Within. And so we have 4 women authors from the west side of Chicago. Dr. Sonia Davis Watts, Watts Davis, I'm sorry. Bridget McGill, Ebony Russell, and Cotta Truss. Looking at the time. And then we will be co-hosted with First Lady Margaret Ackery and First Lady Gail Collins. And we will be putting on an awesome workshop for you all to find out about the beauty within you. So what you need to do is get down to 4133 West on Madison at the Westside Community Triage Center. We will have the four ladies presenting their books, Pink But Not Pitiful, Owning Who You Are, Moving Beyond Your Pain, and Birthing Purpose. Oh my God, and let me tell y'all that Birthing Purpose and Owning Who You Are, if y'all have not gotten that, come on down there and get them 2 books. Gonna bless your soul. Because if you don't know who you are, you will after reading them books. And moving beyond the pain of your loss. If you have lost somebody in your life, like you were saying, people who have lost their friends, that book right there will help them move beyond that pain.
Which book again?
Moving beyond the pain of their loss. This woman lost her son to gun violence right here in the city of Chicago. He had just graduated from college. Came home to celebrate.
And passed the same day?
He didn't pass. They shot him down. And can you imagine a mother seeing her child get shot down? How do you move beyond that? Well, she wrote a book, and she's going to tell you how to move beyond the pain.
During the workshop?
During the workshop. So if you all want to learn how to move beyond your pain, 4133 is the place to be on October 22nd. And so Pink and Not Pitiful, if you know anybody that is struggling with breast cancer, come on down there. We got a book for you.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about the food drive and the Thanksgiving celebration that's going to take place. The food drive is going to take place November 8th through the 15th, and the drop-off location will be Michelle Clark High School, which is 5101 West Harrison, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's going to be from the 8th through the 15th. And then there's going to be an event, a Thanksgiving celebration, November 17th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the same location, Michelle Clark High School, from 5101 West Harrison, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And like you guys can donate any like turkeys and have other donations like fruit, vegetables, juice, and other things in that nature. Now, I think we got to wrap up. So now we would like to thank our viewers for watching and calling in. For additional information about our youth council, please contact us at 773-287-5821. Again, that number is 773-287-5821. Thank you, and tune in next week, same time, same station, for our guest, Milton Johnson, Director of Community Outreach for Bobby Wright. And if there is like any contact information that you would like to give anybody, if they want to like get in contact with you, was there anything like an email or number that they could contact to get in touch with you?
Well, for those of you all who are listening, if you all have a pen and piece of paper, write this number down. It's 773-745-2620. That is our 24-hour trauma line. 773-745-2620. That is our 24-hour trauma line. Call that in case of emergencies.
Okay, thank you guys for watching, and tune in next week on at the same time from 7 to 7:30, and have a great day.